Hey, good morning, Smarties. How are we doing today? Yeah? What a beautiful day it is out. It's actually a little cloudy here in Boston, but it's going to be like high 70s, which is phenomenal. I'll take it all day, every day. Today's Thursday, April 16th, and we are like wrapping up the week in style. Um, I know I said it's going to be 70s today, but I am wearing like a sweatshirt because it just like feels good and cozy. And like, see, it's Under Armour. And like when you get a really good deal on something and you're like, oh my gosh, no one will know. But then you have to tell everyone. So like, so like when you say like, oh my gosh, yeah, I got that at Walmart, but like no one's gonna know. But then you tell everyone like, oh my god, I got this at Walmart for like $15. Well, I got this sweatshirt at a thrift store for $1 and it is like in like perfect condition and it is so cozy. And I saw this thing on Twitter, X, whatever, about how like 3/4 zips instantly make you look more reputable, put together. Specifically with like men, you could be like all thug life, and then they put like a 3/4 zip on them, and they're like, oh yeah, you look smart. And I do love me a good 3/4 zip, but I felt like this was just like a cozy wear today. It feels good. And like for $1, like how can you not? Right? Like I was at this was at like a local like church-based thrift store. I got this really good Boston Marathon one. Speaking of like Boston Marathon next week. It's like hot pink. Do I have it? No, I don't have it in here. And it's New Balance and it says like Run Boston on it. And I got it at a thrift store. It was like a Savers. I don't know if Savers is like a national brand, but I think it is. It's kind of like a Goodwill or a Salvation Army. Um, and it was like brand new condition, Run Boston New Balance, like performance jersey. I got it for like $4. And I wear it like everywhere. And the downfall is people kind of like, because I think it must have been for like a running team or something. People think and kind of look like, are you a runner? The math isn't mathing. You don't necessarily look. I'm just saying, like, you might be running 26.2 miles. I'm just I'm just throwing it out there. You climbed the steps and were a little huffy. So just putting some of the facts together. But I wear it and I love it and it's like so bright and fun. So like don't sleep on thrift finds. Here at the studio, we love a good deal. Yeah. How's everyone doing? Drop some like comments in the chat where you're tuning in from. Yeah. It's gonna be a fun show today. I have like I come up with like ideas like 5 minutes before we start about like what's on my mind today, and I just like note them down. And I have more probably than we'll talk about, so then we'll just push it to another show. But I'm feeling so like immensely fulfilled and grateful this week. I've had so many good conversations with like colleagues or friends or just like people that I've met online, and it just feels so good and like fills me up. Oh, hey, look at this. We have someone coming in from Columbus, Ohio. Oh, hi, Amanda. How are you? So many good friends here today. Yeah, it's good to see that we're like branching out of New England a bit. Like a lot of my like networking bases here in New England, but I have like friends and colleagues like all over the US, and it's good. I know this is like a time where like you're probably supposed to be in like a board meeting or something, but no one has to know. You can skip compliance committee. They're just going to talk about the same things. There's going to be votes. You don't need to be here. Yeah, you can just skip compliance committee and come to the studio with me, and we'll talk about all the things that you really need to know. All right, everyone, we're going to get started. Good morning. Hi, my name is Carrie Cormier. I'm the host here at The Carrie Show, and it is called The Carrie Show for everyone in my life who has told me it's not The Carrie Show. It sure is. A little bit about me. I'm a financial services executive by trade, currently taking a much needed sabbatical from corporate life and using that time and space just to focus on all the passion projects that have been in my heart and on my mind for quite some time. And one of them being Bank Smart Studio. And it's really like being born out of a place where banks and credit unions, they have all these ideas and they're unable to execute. And so far often they want to just stay doing the same thing over and over. And there's the idea people, the possibility thinkers, the creatives out there that just want to move things forward. And this space is for you. I am most days I'll say I'm a digital banking girl in a passbook savings world and a marketing and social media nerd at heart, although my background and the bulk of my career has been spent in the retail banking arena and digital strategy. So you'll see that I do talk a lot about marketing and social media. It's something that's just, I can't turn it off. It's funny, and this is like one of the things that like made me feel so good this week. I started going to, I want to say med spa, but that's like not the right word because it's like this like nurse that does like wellness treatment in my area. And she's actually a mom at the school where my kids go. So her daughter goes to school with mine. And she does like, one of the things that she does is like IV nutrition therapy. So I went there yesterday to get my mental clarity boost in an IV bag. And she pumps me up with like vitamins and all this good stuff. And I was talking to her and she's like, so like, how's the social media thing going? And I was like, oh no, it's good. I've been doing my like YouTube channel for 2 months now. And I've been like building some stuff in the background that I'm working on. I'm excited to launch. And she's like, can I just tell you, like, it's really good. Like your social posts and your content. She goes, I wish I had the energy for that. And I'm like, well, if you came for your own energy boosts, no, I'm just kidding. Because that's where I'm getting my energy. But it just felt so good. So someone totally not even in my space recognized like the value and the creativity that I bring to this. And she's like, you totally have the personality for it. She's like, I wish I had the personality for it. And I'm like, no, go on, because like I don't see that. And I bet a lot of you out there like are so blind to the talents that you have and what you bring to the table. And normally I would just say no, like, oh no, don't, I don't want to talk about it, like, please don't, like, I don't want the attention. But I've been like in this space where through like years of therapy, I've learned to like accept those compliments and take them for what they are, because whoever's saying them like probably genuinely means it and they're trying to say something nice. And so I say thank you. And even if it feels uncomfortable and I don't think I'm creative or that I'm like have a personality for it, someone else does. And so I love that. And so that just like totally like made my day and made me feel good, and proved that my like filter of social media that I bring here to the studio, people are noticing and it's appreciated. And I just love that. So fun, right? Yeah. Cool. So I'm just gonna move my screens around. I don't like to have everything up on my second screen because then I'm not like looking at you guys and I want to see all of you. My smarties. This has been a busy week in financial services. How many of you are like taking today and tomorrow off to like recover from all the conferences? It's been like, how do you even recover? Like, imagine the people that tried to hop to a couple of them and tried to, I know some of you had to divide and conquer. And then there were others that like tried to make both. I know. It's like wild. So what did we have this week? Let's do a roundup. We had Alkami Co. We had CSI CX26 and Financial Brand Forum. So 3 pretty big conferences. So I think we all know Alkami, a digital banking provider. They had their signature conference and event this week. What was that? Was that in San Diego? Where was Collab? Let's see. We just need to know. Yep, it was in San Diego. And then we all know Forum was in Vegas. And this one I actually didn't know until I started seeing a bunch of posts on it. So CSI, Customer Experience Conference 26, was in Denver, Colorado. So all kind of in that like fun area. We all know CSI is a like banking technology platform. They offer technology services as well as a core. But they had a big conference too, with like breakout sessions covering AI, automation. I'm hearing cybersecurity, real-time payments, like all the good stuff. So I'm excited to hear what came out of that one as well. I have not ever been a CSI client, but it looks like they put on a good event and had some good nuggets. Now, I think there's two schools of thought when it comes to conferences, right? We need to really break this down because I remember like going to my core providers client conference every year, and I was like young. And when did I go to my first conference? Let's see, it might have been like 2011. So let's see, we're gonna do some math. Okay, so I was like 27-ish, okay, going to my first conference. And I was like so excited because I got to like pack a bag, get on a plane, meet people. It was a big deal, right? And so like me going with like all my, I'll say older colleagues who were late 40s, early 50s, who have probably been to the same client conference every year for the last 10 years. For them, it didn't feel as new and fresh. Like they were like, oh yeah, we're going to the bar tonight. We're going to the signature event. Who's going to this after? And I'm like, they were like picking out, oh, let's all go to the same breakout sessions. And I'm like, why would you all go to the same breakout sessions? Like the point is to go and like scoop up knowledge and like divide and conquer. And you go to this one and you go to this one and we all come back and we like talk about it. No, that was not it. It was like a palling around, like, woohoo, we left our spouses at home. We're just going to go stay up late and eat nachos and go to the bar and just pal together. And we're going to see the people from the New England user group. And like, yes, I guess when I'm late 40s, early 50s, I'll have a different perspective on conference life. But I still I feel so hungry for like this knowledge and networking and connection, and conferences for me have always been like so fun and magical, and just like getting to make connections and learning what's new or what other people are doing, and just meeting people in the buffet line and then making awkward conversation about sandwiches, but then introducing yourself and like saying, hey, where are you from? Oh, what do? You want to have lunch together? Like that's where the magic is. Like I remember one time one of like our hotel rooms were like all next to each other, and so they were all like, oh, we're gonna go to bed early. It was like, I don't know, like maybe 8:00. And they're like, we got some work to do on our laptops, or we're gonna go watch Desperate Housewives on TV. I don't know, whatever old people do. And we all go into our hotel rooms, and I'm changing. I'm like gonna go put on some like yoga pants and like a tank top and some sneakers, and I'm gonna like go for a walk. So I remember like going into my hotel room thinking that they went into their rooms, and then I like get back out and I like walking out the door, and they're both still standing outside their door like talking trash about people, and I'm like, and they're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm just going for a run. First of all, that should have been your first sign. I was not going for a run. But it was so funny. And I walked around, like they had a pool area. I walked around outside, and I actually like met people from the conference that like were out, just weren't traveling with anyone, but like, and they weren't there to like drink or whatever. And it was like so great. So like I met this one guy from Umpqua, And he like, oh my gosh, he is someone that like I've connected with on LinkedIn and haven't like super been in touch with him, but he was the funniest guy. And now I'm gonna get off on a tangent. But he was like, I don't know, like a system architect at Umpqua, and he was there. I'm trying to like talk about it without completely like saying certain pieces, but like he was there to like help bring them onto like a new system, whatever. And their CEO at the time, was it Ray Davis? I think I'm gonna get that right or wrong. Had written a book, and it was like Leading for Growth or something like that by Ray Davis. And I was like, at that time, Umpqua was like the North Star for banking, and like they were calling themselves stores, and everyone thought they were so cool, and they were having like yoga in the branches or whatever. And it was so funny because he's like, yeah, I know, Umpqua, Ray Davis, he wrote a book. And so I was like, oh my God, I have the book. Carrie. And he goes, okay, well, I'll send you I think he has written another book, maybe Leading Through Uncertainty, like talking about like one of the crashes or something like that. And he goes, we have tons of copies. He goes, I'll send you a signed one and give me your address, whatever. Does he send me a signed one? Yes, he does. Who signed it? Him. The system architect. And it was like so funny. And I still have that book, and it was just great. And like, we've connected on LinkedIn, and every time he like gets a promotion or moves places, I'm just like, it feels so good to like reach out and say, hey, high five. But I always think of that night where I just happened to stay up and like meet him, and it wasn't around like not paying, like it was around like networking and having fun, but also it wasn't just like wasting conference time, because I was like there to learn. Yes, exactly. Thank you. We're gonna put this up on the screen. We also love hot takes from Banksmart Carrie. Yeah. So like, one of my favorite things to do at conferences was like tweet and shout out all ideas. And you know how many people like I met that way? One of the conferences that I was at, again, it was like, I think my core providers conference, and I was like following the Twitter game. And now that kind of, for the demographic we're talking about, you had like the old people that were just there to like get away from their spouses. You had the people that their like work had just sent them, and so they needed to like learn something or whatever, but it was like a specific focus, like, hey, we're going through a conversion, so we need you to be the representative, or something like that, right? And then you had like, I'll say there was a thin layer of like tech savvy people, and they were like all tweeting around on Twitter. And I met this guy from like a tech accelerator, because he was the only other one that was like really upping his Twitter game. And so like I met him, and so fun. And he ended up, I think he's done a couple like fintech incubators out on the West Coast. And he invited me out there at one point, but like I didn't go. I wasn't sure if it was a situation like we've had before. I think it was kosher, but I don't know. Okay. So we kept that one good. We did not go to the West Coast. But it was really cool, because again, you're like making all these actual connections with people that you meet online. And it was like just so fun. So finding a way to stand out, because again, like the only reason he knew me is because we were tweeting back and forth, and then he saw me in the hallway and was like, hey, Banksmart Carrie. And I was like, hey, what up, Tech Center? So it was so fun. But like, I want all of you who are like flying home from a conference this week, who are decompressing, I want you to think about what you got out of it. This is your homework. You have homework. Okay. You know how many like banks and credit unions are cutting back on conference dollars right now? Because what's the first thing to go? Training, conference, marketing. We cut those first. I don't know why. Those are the most important. Those are investing in our people. So if you were lucky enough to go to any of these 3 conferences or other ones, you have homework. Okay. We're going to talk about what your homework is. And some of it is like just based on like my ideas, and some of it is like conference tips that I've gotten like over the years that feel like share worthy, right? So we're going to break it into like a couple sections. So like, think about you were the one to go to your conference out of your institution. Now, is it because you're the one that goes every year and you're the designate, or do they rotate? Like, some people have this entitlement of like, well, I always go to forum, so like other people can't go. Okay, that's weird. Like, why wouldn't you share the wealth with your team? Okay, well, maybe if they like to go to other certain ones, you like to go to forum, and like you guys divide and conquer. Cool. You got to bring back the information. All right. Don't just bring back the fun selfies and the memories. Those are good too. We like them. But like, one of the colleagues that I worked with, I would make sure like he could go to as many conferences as like we could afford, because he was so good and he always did it right. Like, he was there to network, he was making connections, he was reaching out to them on LinkedIn, and he would always do like a write-up or a presentation after. And it wasn't like super crazy, it wasn't a huge thing, but he would do this like brain dump into like a Word doc and then talk to us about it at like team meetings. And that was like what you wanted to do, because I get so frustrated with like colleagues that would send people to conferences and you come back and you're like, well, I have 5 other people that would have liked to go, but we just dumped all this money on you and you're not even like sharing. So all of us, we're smarter than that here at the studio. Smarties, assemble. I want you to, okay, first 48 hours, brain dump everything. Okay. You don't need to curate it yet. Just get it out. You might have notes. Maybe you have a collection of tweets. Maybe you have just like, you typed in the notes app in your phone, a journal, a book, however you took notes, maybe some slide decks or follow-ups that people sent you. Because sometimes they send out the slides. Just get it out. Even if you, okay, this is going to be weird, but I'm going to be serious. I did this last night with a friend. Even if you have to just pick up the phone and send yourself a voice memo of like the excitement and the things that really, I saw that, and this is really funny because we were literally just talking about it on the show. Will Guidara, who wrote the book Unreasonable Hospitality and ran 11 Madison Park in New York, was like the keynote at Forum. And I'm like, holy snippets. We were literally just talking about him. And so I had a little bit of FOMO because I would have loved to see him speak live. But I think of how he made you feel, the excitement you got out of his talk or whatever other talks you went to, and just send yourself a voice memo. Okay. Just get it out. Maybe it's when you're sitting in the airport, maybe it's on your Uber ride back to the parking garage, whatever. And then like kind of pull out, right? Identify maybe like 1 or 2 ideas that like stopped you mid-session, and like what was the like hot takes, the snackable content. That's what you want to like frame as some of the like key points. I saw on Twitter, let's just like look at it, because I think I retweeted some of them. I can't help myself. I had this moment where I was like sitting in a parking lot waiting for someone this week, and I'm going to say manically tweeted a bunch of things. And I'm sorry. Like, one of them was about how great Nick Holland's accent is when talking about fraud. It just goes together. I can't help it. He probably thought that was creepy. But when you're talking about fraud, you want that accent. So if you're not watching Nick Holland's shorts on This Week in Fintech, you need to be watching it. Okay. You can find that on Twitter, on LinkedIn, etc. Okay. Yeah. So, here was a hot take. Let's see. Literally the quote that we had talked about on the show: hire slow, fire fast, but not too fast. Will Guidara, Unreasonable Hospitality. It's cool to care. There was a quote from Jill Casilla of Citizens Bank of Edmond: if we do good, we'll do well. Wise words to live by, banking or otherwise. I love that. So if you follow the hashtag for the event, you can get other people's hot takes too. And then that might remind you, of, what some of the good key points were, because it's hard to, when you're in the moment and the big screen is up and you're like, oh my gosh, there's so much going on. It's sometimes hard to like remember all the good stuff or like write fast enough. But that's another way to grab it. So identify kind of those like really wow ideas. Okay, so this is the first 48 hours, your homework. Dump everything out, however you can do it. Identify some key ideas. Now, let's take a quick break. I need to breathe. I'm getting excited because, as you can tell, like, this is my jam. Right? Right? Like, who doesn't love a good conference? And you know that feeling you get when you're so inspired after the conference. You're like, I'm going to take on the world. And then you go back to your office and it's like, oh, I have compliance committee. I have this, I have that. I have someone's this. I have a customer complaint. And this person's fighting with this person. I need to mediate. It's like you get so drained back down. But you need to remember, because this like all in might be like a $5,000 investment, right? Between conference admission, flights, hotel, like incidentals, food, Ubers, like whatever. Like, this is, your institution may have just invested $5,000 in you going to something. And like, what's the ROI on that? You are going to knock it out of the park. So, okay, now you're back at the office. You're going to put all the nonsense aside, because you know what? They survived without you for a couple days. They can survive one more day. Okay, they don't need you. You're going to spend some time recapping the conference, okay? Now, I want you to work on a short recap for your team, your colleagues, whatever it is, right? It doesn't need to be a 40-page slide deck. It can be, if that's your jam, probably my jam. Because I'm not going to do all text. I'm going to do visuals, and it's going to actually maybe be better than the original presentation. Who knows? But I'm talking like 15 minutes, like the hot points. What did you see there? What stood out? What's relevant to us at our institution? Some of the stuff might be great, and you could break it up into like maybe emerging themes or aspirational ideas, things that like, oh my gosh, that's really cool, but we are probably 10 years away from doing that. It's kind of cool to show people where others are in comparison, but don't get too focused and hooked up on the things that you're not going to get out of the gate running, and you're not throwing on the Run Boston shirt and hitting the New Balance and like, okay, like probably not happening, right? So you really want to focus on highlighting those things, but what can you make actionable and what's relevant to your institution? Make sense? Okay. Now, write up a list of goals and takeaways. Like, consolidate the presentation down to some key goals and takeaways. And they can be for you personally and professionally. They can be for the organization, for your team. Kind of like break it up. It doesn't have to be all specifically for your goals. It can be goals that you want to assign out to people. Maybe you got an idea about sending one of your colleagues or your direct reports to the next one. So their goal is going to be to go to the next conference or another conference that interests them, right? Schedule a meeting, like a reoccurring meeting, put it on your calendar every 2 weeks to pull out the goals and check on them. I'm serious. I know this is silly, and I know you're going to snooze the notification because you're going to like look in your Outlook and you're going to be like, yeah, I have time then. We can move that around. It's not important. It is important. Okay, let's say it again. It is important, because what gets focused on and tracked, like, it becomes progress and reality. I always found like, I used to like vacation a lot with my mother-in-law, and we'd go to like Aruba or something like that. This is when I was younger, mid-20s, and I would always have this like time to just relax. Like, she was like a out in the sun kind of person, so she would just like to bake in the by the pool or on the beach in the chairs, which was like so fun. And I would use that time to like read or write down a list of goals. And I like wish I could find, I might have one in my desk, but I'm not. I like would always have a little notebook and I would write down, like I would use that time to just like clear my head and like write down, because like the sun felt so good and warm, and I would like write down goals, and it would be like my 1 month goal, my 3, my like 6 months, my 1 year, 5 year, 3. And it was like so crazy how sometimes never revisiting those goals again, how so many of them actually came true. And I honest to goodness believe that by writing them down and like manifesting it, I believe that these happens. Like I remember writing down, like I wanted to get like my bachelor's, I wanted to become like VP before a certain age, I wanted to get my my master's degree, and like I never had any belief that those things would come true. And honest to goodness, like so many of them, I think I did pretty much everything on that list. But then I would like revisit it, and sometimes the stupid ones were like get a new outfit for like when you come back from the conference and you want to feel like more executive, like get yourself a new outfit because you're like feeling pumped up and empowered and you want your look to reflect that. Like I would make like stupid, silly goals like that. And they felt attainable and easy, and then you could like check them off and be like, yes, I'm done. But then that feeling like also like carried through into the workplace. So I want you to seriously write up a goal list, takeaways, whatever it is, and schedule yourself a reoccurring meeting every couple of weeks to pull it out, look at it, go through it. Whether it's a running Word doc in your Google Drive, whatever, maybe it's literally a piece of paper in a notebook, whatever works for you. Okay. Do it and keep up with it. This one's an important one, and I think people still miss this. In financial services, I don't see enough like genuine, authentic LinkedIn usage. I still see a lot of people with like very bare profiles as like managers, or like if you're going out to a conference, like you want to jazz up your LinkedIn profile. You want to be someone that people want to connect with. Okay, now maybe who's going to connect with you is all the cheesy vendors that want to have a quick 5-minute coffee chat and sell you something. You can tell them no, it's okay. But I'll give you a tip. You can also tell them yes. All right. Okay. Because you don't know who they're going to become at some point. I'm just telling you, it's a small world out there, and people that you meet, you're going to meet again and again and again. And sometimes they're going to have a connection opportunity for you. Sometimes you might be in a hotel elevator in Nashville with a Dolly Parton impersonator with them. Okay. And then the next time they might have an opportunity for you to pilot like a fintech partnership. Okay. I'm just saying. You don't know. So I encourage you to, like, if you can, take some of those coffee chats that matter, but write down. I always did this in my notes on my phone when I met someone, or like even if I just like met them at the table where you were eating your cold cut lunch, your cold cut sandwich with your pasta salad. And I was sitting at a table with people, and you'd be like, oh, where are you from? Where are you from? How did you like the conference? Like, what's your favorite session so far? What are you going to later? I would like write their name down creepily because everyone had name tags. I'd write it in my phone and I would connect with them later. But don't just send a cold connection. Okay. That's rude. Rude. It's weird too. And the people might not even remember you, because I seriously probably have like 54 connection requests now from like spam, like people that are just like, hey, I see that you're founder at X and I want to talk to you about like No, okay, I like, you're in Russia, what am I gonna like so people do get a lot of, spam, so write something meaningful, like, "Hey, it was great having lunch with you at Forum, can't wait to see, what you do next or your takeaways from the event too. Great chatting with you. Let's stay in touch," right? Because again, this is your network. You're gonna see them again at other conferences. You're gonna see them on, LinkedIn, right? So just write down those people in your phone and then search them up on LinkedIn. It doesn't hurt. Yeah, exactly. See, you guys know. You guys know. And I have to say, like, I don't think there was anyone that I met that ever denied my LinkedIn request. So, like, even some of the like big time people that I would meet at conferences, like I remember there were some pretty big ones I met at Finovate one time, and they were all like, "Yeah, like slide into my DMs, let's connect," right? Okay. And the ones that don't take it personal. Okay. Either A, it's like in a pile of connection requests, or they might not go on LinkedIn that much. Okay. Some people actually don't use it, which blows my mind. So make connections, write something meaningful. Okay. I always would say that because, like, I would have some people come back from conferences, even like we're talking not even like nationwide conferences. I'm talking like community networking events, right? And maybe it was like a leadership course or something like that. And they'd be telling me, and I go, all right, okay, so what we're gonna do right now, I don't care if I have to like move you out of your seat and I need to drive on your computer and like get it all done. We're gonna connect with these people on LinkedIn. And they're like, what? That's weird. And I go, no, trust me, like these are people you're gonna see out in the community at other events. Like, this is how you build your network. Because um I'm laughing because I have an analogy. It's not going to make sense to most of you, but I have a mayor in town. He has been the longest running mayor in the state of Massachusetts, and he's been mayor for like 30 something years. He's not even that old. And he always talks about like campaigning, that he never needs to really campaign because he shows up and campaigns every day and he earns people's votes every day. Now, like him or hate him, he does do that. And if your trash isn't picked up on trash day, he posts his phone number everywhere. You can call the mayor and he will send the trash or the DPW to come pick up your trash. If there's a pothole, you can text him and let him know that there's a pothole. It is fixed within a couple hours. So he doesn't like campaign just during campaign season. He campaigns every single day in how he shows up for his community. And I say that as a way to let all of you know that when you need your network, that's not the time to go looking for your network and pulling people up from the past. Network every single day. Value those connections that you had when you were at that conference. Because that is gold. And there are people that I was on like client advisory panels with, that I would just like, we'd meet maybe quarterly online, and then we'd meet in person once a year at a conference. And they would people that like I would connect with them on LinkedIn, and I can still reach out to them now. And they're like, sometimes you start and they're just the system architect, right, doing coding, but maybe now that they're the head of technology at another institution. It's a pretty good connection to have. So yes, like, see, okay, thank you guys. You guys understand what I'm saying. Ready? We're gonna pop you up the screen. Yes. This is like, we need to improve the conference experience, because I'm sure people out here know how much work it is to put on a conference like this. And yes, it's about the fanfare. I saw at Alkami Co Lab the beautiful setup that they did for Natalie Bartholomew and the Girl Banker. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous California Girls theme, sponsored by Paymentus. Just incredible, incredible, incredible. But for the people that put on the conference, right, and those that participate and put so much work into it, it's got to be bigger than that, right? Like it's not just the energy and excitement you feel in the moment. You want to bring that to back to what you do every day. And obviously I didn't get to attend her session, but I imagine it's about empowering women in banking and having your seat at the table and having your voice being heard, and like pull that in and use it next time you go back to your organization. Like there are so many good nuggets there. So yeah, absolutely. This is what we're about. Like conference isn't just like, I'm going to say your grandmother's conference. Okay. Your mom or dad's conference. Like this is like high powered, like fun networking. I don't care if you're at Financial Brand Forum or if you're at the local lunch and learn for your community center. Okay. Everything is networking, and you want to be building your network because they're there when you need them. And that's all I'm going to say. It's very important. So make sure you write a meaningful message when you connect. And then, okay, this is a little nerdy, but I'm going to tell you, as an executive, I appreciate this. So if you are an executive, you may think like, well, who am I going to do this to? Or what am I like? It's fine. This might not be for everyone, but I'm going to tell you, as an executive who has sent multiple people to conferences, if you send them a thank you, and it doesn't have to be a handwritten card. I've gotten them. They're beautiful. And I do appreciate it. They go in my bad day folder. I do have a bad day folder. We can talk about that another time. But send a thank you to the executive who sent you to the conference or sponsored you to go or encouraged you to be there. It goes such a long way in your career. And maybe if you're at, like, I'll say a community bank or a smaller institution, you might not do this. If you're at a large national, you're not going to send something to the CEO and thanking them for investing in you going to the conference. But they might be like, who is this? But like, I'm going to tell you, like, send a thank you. It goes a lot. It can just be a quick email. It can be like, hey, thank you so much. I know this was an investment. I really appreciate it. I've got some takeaways. They know that their money was well spent. Right now, dollars are small. And if they were willing to pony up $5,000 to send you to something, you're on their hot list to go next time, because they're like, okay, why am I going to send so-and-so when they don't bring anything back, when I know this person's going to bring us opportunities, connections, ideas, like, just hot tip. Okay. Just trust me. I know it feels a little weird because like they could be your boss and maybe you're like, I don't want to look like a nerd. Do it. I can tell you, like, those that have done it for me and written me a thank you, and I have to say, like, pretty much all of my team has done this, maybe because they're just genuinely awesome people, but it always feels so good. And so, like, I encourage you. Okay. Now, this is, again, we're going to approach into the weird. This one, I got actually attending, Mass Bankers does a leadership development conference. It's kind of like a weekend retreat kind of thing. I went one year. It's hosted at Babson College. I did not stay over. I commuted, which I think you missed a little bit if you commute. So if you ever have the opportunity, stay over with whatever conference you're at, even if you're close, stay over. You have opportunities that you miss if you don't. But I commuted, which was fine. They encouraged us to write a letter to ourselves to open in 6 months, like a physical letter. And you didn't have to handwrite it. You could type it on the computer, whatever, print it, put it in an envelope and put it in your desk. Okay. Not about what you learned, because you've already summarized that and, made an action plan, goals. You're going to revisit this. So this is 6 months from now. What you envision being different by then because of what you learned, who you are going to be in 6 months because of this conference. I know. I'm sorry, guys. It's a little weird, but I'm going to tell you, I've done this and I love it. And you really have to channel. It's a different creative mindset. Because if you're like me, you're going to go back to the goals. You want numbers. You want deliverables. You want concrete. Okay. So I remember one of the ones I wrote myself, and I never saved it in my bad day folder. I don't have it. But I talked about how I was going to show appreciation to my customers and my team more. So, 6 months from now, I was going to be someone who, and it starts to get into a little bit of like numbers and tracking, right? I was going to weekly appreciate people, send thank you cards, all this stuff, and put it in my desk, open it in 6 months. And I can tell you that like I was that person. And it's not to say I didn't do that for my team prior, but I had made such a more concerted effort, and it was so exciting to like open up that letter and like read what my vision was. And like it was funny because I think I got, this is very classic Carrie of me, I think I got a little granular. And I wrote like, you're going to send $25 gift cards to a different person each week, like whatever. And I didn't do that. Like I didn't get that nitty gritty when I actually implemented it. But I had made myself a promise that I was going to be much more appreciative person and a much more appreciative leader in the next 6 months. And I was, and I could look back over the previous 6 months and see how I had made small adjustments in my everyday like working life that got me closer to that. Like one of the things was I had on my calendar every Friday, I was going to post like an impression or a kudos or a thank you on our company intranet to a couple team members who had done something awesome. And I continued that. And that is something that I've done throughout my entire career since. Fridays were the days for recognizing people. Sometimes I would shout it out on Twitter. Sometimes I would post it on my LinkedIn to make a little more broader approach. But it definitely made me a more appreciative leader. And it opened my eyes to like, because then I started looking for moments, right? It wasn't just about like, okay, what did someone like brag about doing? It was like looking for the unsung moments that people didn't realize were amazing. So again, this is where your notes app comes into place. And I wasn't always someone that did voice notes, but I've gotten better at it. I have some angry voice notes too. Maybe we should play them sometime. But I would write notes. So like if I would be at a branch, right? There were certain days of the week that I'd go out and visit branches and just like literally to go hang out and talk with them. Sometimes I bring them snacks or whatever. And I love all of you Smarties. You guys are making my day. This is so fun. It's like we're just hanging out and chatting. I would like bring them snacks, whatever. And then they would just tell me things. And it would just like the stuff that comes out of their mouth when you listen is phenomenal. And it just doesn't have to be branches. It could be like departments or coworkers or colleagues or community members, whatever it is. But if you take the time to listen, they tell you everything. And so like one of them would be like, oh my gosh, Carrie, you never believe what happened today. And they didn't even know that it was incredible. They were just telling a story. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you turned that situation around. You like made it a winning moment, like it like above and beyond. And I would like, just like, okay, Sandy did this, blah, blah, blah. And I like write it in a quick thing. And it would remind me that on Friday, so now like maybe a couple days have passed and they think like, oh yeah, that was really cool. Carrie just like, but I would have sent it to their boss's boss. Like, hey, you're never going to believe what they told me Sandy did. Okay. David, you need to hear this. And then he would be so enthralled and jazzed with it. Okay. That he would talk about it at the managers meeting. And then I would put something out on the intranet and like, and these team members were just like, oh my goodness. Like, I feel like I was just telling you, and I didn't realize how impactful it was. And I think that's like, those are the moments that we miss if we're not intentionally looking for them. So I'm not going to say that writing a 6-month letter to yourself magically makes you a better person or makes you more focused in 6 months, or you're going to look back but it also helps you to look back and capture your excitement and your essence of who you were at that moment that you wrote it and the inspiring stuff. So even if you did none of it and none of it came true, it's almost like you're opening up and getting a breath of fresh air of how you felt in those moments after the conference when you were so inspired and energized. And it can be a jumping off point to see what you look like in another 3 to 6 months. Okay, so even if none of it comes true and nothing happens, every day is a new day to start over and be fresh again. And so I just loved that. And I think that by writing it down subconsciously kept me more in tune and aware to the important things I needed to be looking for. And I just love that. Okay. I have a couple more tips. Are we here? Are we here for it? We should take a quick break and do a shout out. Okay. Shout out to the replay crew. Whether you're listening on the treadmill at the gym, on your ride home, your commute to work, on the train, maybe you're putting on your makeup, doing your hair, maybe you're brushing your beard. I don't know what you're doing, but if you're not listening live, thank you so much for joining us. We love our replay crew. You guys are phenomenal. Smarties. You're part of the community, whether you're listening live or not. So definitely throw some comments and love in the chat when you do join us. I do go back and read the comments. So you're absolutely part of everything that we do. And if you did attend Forum or CSICX or Alkami collab, drop in or send me a DM on what your favorite pieces were. We'll talk about it here at the studio. Or you could say, hey, Carrie, keep this to yourself. This is my nugget. That's fine. We could do that too. That is fine. So shout out to the replay crew. Okay. So I think, again, I've said this a little bit earlier, we need to be more intentional LinkedIn users. Okay. I love LinkedIn, and I know that there have been times in my career where I make myself smaller because it makes other people uncomfortable on my LinkedIn posts. Oh my gosh, why are you bragging? Why are you shouting out to your team? What are you looking for a new job? No, I'm just excited about what I do, and I want the whole world to know, and I want to provide value back to the connections that I've made, that maybe they get some ideas out of this. LinkedIn is not one-sided. You want to be able to support your connections too, and maybe by posting something, they get some great ideas. So I want you to turn one insight that you got from the conference into a LinkedIn post. Okay. And if you're not a LinkedIn user, that's okay. You can make an internal memo or an intranet post or something like that. Just take one insight and expand on it and make it into some sort of content piece. Okay. I know, again, a little weird, but I'm going to tell you, gold. Pure gold. Maybe you're not a writer. Some people aren't writers. That's okay. Record a little video. That's fine too. If you're not a video person, it's fine. Do some writing. If you're neither, try something. Because I'm going to tell you, none of us are good writers to begin with. None of us are good video people to begin with. We do it by showing up and making mistakes and just trying things. And I honestly, in my career, I've been thinking about this. I wish someone earlier on had encouraged me to do more video, to do more writing. Because I felt like I couldn't and didn't have the space to. And every time I talk to people, they're like, oh my gosh, I love that. You're so talented. I'm like, why did no one just tell me and encourage me to do this? Because these are things that I've wanted to do all along. And people made me feel smaller for it. And that just feels so crappy. So if you have a team member that maybe feels like they're not good at anything, encourage them to try it. I've had team members that are maybe they like things and maybe they're not awesome at it. I'm going to use some examples. They're not accurate, but you'll get the picture. Maybe someone's good at drawing or good at photography or good at writing or something but they're not great. Okay. Encourage them to keep hey, I want you to let's use an example of photography. I want you to take interesting pictures from your conference experience. Okay. Maybe you're not going to write a whole recap, but you're going to take interesting pictures of the food line, the bucket of Diet Cokes, right? Diet Coke's a big thing right now. Maybe it's always been a big thing. I don't know. I'm not a Diet Coke girly. I never have been. Straight Coke was my vice. the McDonald's one. Okay. Coca-Cola. I feel like I need to say that. I was actually talking with someone on LinkedIn about like how I've been clean from Coca-Cola for like 9 years. And they're like, oh yeah, man, I made it like 7 or something. And then someone handed me a mixed drink with Coke and I didn't know how to say no because I wanted the bourbon or whatever it was. I don't know. Does Coke even go with bourbon? Probably not. We'll just say like the whiskey, I don't know. You can tell I'm not a drinker. But I didn't want to be rude. So I drank it. And then now I haven't been able to kick the habit since. I totally feel that, which is why I can't even have a sip of Coke because I will be like, oh my gosh, just going to swing through the drive up for a Coke. Why was that important? Oh, pictures, right? So maybe it's like the fresh, juicy, like I'm picturing the ice bucket with the Coke, right? Okay. Maybe it's like a big panoramic of the event hall. Maybe it's like a macro shot. Like take a visual, like that could be part of your thing at the conference. Visually represent it. Encourage people to continue to pursue what they might be good at or what they want to try out. Like I've had team members that are not great at writing. But I encourage them to keep writing because it is such an important skill to have. And they've gotten a lot better. And then, I mean, like AI doesn't hurt either. So now we've discovered AI and we could help make sense of things. But like, still, you need to be able to like work with AI and make it better, right? So encourage people to like lean into whatever's good for them. And if you were a conference goer, take one insight and pick the channel you want to distribute it in. But I'm suggesting LinkedIn. Maybe it's your internal intranet, but like write up a post, share pictures, share your insights, whatever it is. It's so cool and important. Now, I want you to identify like one connection. So like maybe it's someone you sent a LinkedIn connection to. Maybe it was one vendor or speaker or peer that you met at the conference that you're actually going to follow up with. Like, and set like a reminder to reach out to them again in like, maybe it's like a month or 2 months or whatever you feel like the right cadence is, to like pop into their inbox and chat with them. And it could like just be a little message. Maybe you feel like you want to do a call. Maybe you want to like email, whatever it is, connect with them again. Because some of it is like, yes, it's going to be, I'm LinkedIning with you and we're probably never going to talk again. That's fine too. Okay. But if there's a connection you felt like a certain pull to, keep that connection and that feeling hot. Okay. I think that's so important. Ooh, I love this. I've definitely never heard about secret Diet Coke stashes in war rooms at Pepsi shop venues. Yeah, no, not at all. No. It's funny. The girl banker posted, what was it? She did a shout out to whatever venue they were at. And that they had provided her own stash of Diet Coke in her hotel room when she arrived because they knew that she loved it so much. I thought that was like so sweet. She posted it on her Facebook or her Instagram or whatever, but it was just like really nice. Does this like, what do you think, friends, smarties? Is this like, are we on the right track here? I think so. Trust me, okay, as someone who's like been there, done that, gone to conferences, sent people to conferences, this is the way to do it. And some of it's going to feel like force, some of it's going to feel like homework, but there's a ton of value in there, and it's going to help grow your career. If you are a CEO, right, and you're like, well, how do I really do this? I'm not like you think maybe my talk is for like mid to senior level people. It's really not for me. I'm a CEO. Okay, if you're a CEO, do the same thing. Share it with your leadership team. Share it with the organization. Share it with your board. I would even encourage you to like make it a goal to be a speaker next year. Or like write up an article, submit it to like a CU Insight or something like, you know what I mean? Like get your stuff out there. because that's how you grow your own personal brand and professional brand too. Yeah. Oh, I love this. Yes. We're gonna put this on the stage. Yes. I love this. Like, make sure to like and comment on your friends and teammates' posts. It helps boost your brand and their personal brand during a very busy conference season. Absolutely. I always like, this is silly, okay? This is silly. I notice who doesn't like my LinkedIn posts. Not now. I'm not talking about in this like new venture, but like my colleagues, like when I'm working and I know that they like when I'm at like an organization and I know that they're looking at my LinkedIn post because they're talking about it in the hallway, but they don't like it. They don't react. They don't comment on it. Like, are you jealous or something? That's okay. It's okay. All right. But like support other team members, other vendors, other colleagues. Like I love when you see the pre-conference hype. That is my favorite. So like now that you're like building this network, when you go to your next one, there's going to be all the people like, I can't wait to see you at this conference. Da, da, da. Like if you're there, see me at booth this or join me at this meetup. Like join in those conversations. Like then you start to build like the, oh, hey, and then people look out for you. You become a staple. Hold on, we're going to switch. We're going to switch. This deserves the heart glasses. And I wish I had like, I wish I thought about like having I guess I did. Like, so I wish I had like heart glasses when I went to conferences. But what I did do is I usually wore like fun t-shirts, like towards the end of like once I started getting a name recognition for myself, I had like these blue Talk Smarty to me t-shirts and I wore those to conferences. I had like an Evolution of Payments one that I wore. Obviously the Keep Calm and Cash On was a staple to where, but it was like a great conversation starter. So if you're maybe a little more timid like me, and believe me, I am not this fun and outgoing. People may beg to differ. But I suggest like conversation starter, wearing a fun t-shirt, having something fun on your lanyard. Like cool shoes. I don't care what it is. Like make yourself stand out. Oh, I love, okay. Oh, I love this question. Any tips on how you encourage your teammates to get comfortable posting when new to social media? Did you establish any company guidelines? We should have a whole show about this. Yes. Okay, let's start with the thing. Definitely company guidelines. I would say, in summary, a lot of it started by me modeling it. So I had team members who like weren't comfortable with social at all. They didn't see the value in it. They just didn't understand it, but they saw like by me modeling it that there was something there. So a lot of them actually started just by creating like, I'm going to call it a shell account. Like it wasn't like a fake profile, but it was more of maybe just their name. They didn't follow like a ton of people or gain followers or even like have a profile picture, but they would put up like their name in a maybe it was like Bethany 85721, like whatever it was. It wasn't like branded or anything. And they would just like follow me and they would like. And then I was like, oh my gosh, Bethany's on Twitter. Oh my gosh, it was like so fun. Or like I remember some team members, all of a sudden I got a LinkedIn request from them. And I'm like, oh, you're on LinkedIn. Like, so that was the first one. Like I have been through this social media evolution, like since the beginning, for when you were like not allowed to even say that you worked at an organization, to like the evolution of like being brand advocates. And that's like a whole topic. But it really starts with like modeling, then like the creeping where you let them like in the background just like silently support, and then you help them like, okay, hey, you know what, I can help you upload your profile picture, I can help you put a bio on there. And so then you do some of these like one-offs, right? And then it's like, okay, we could do a class on this, there's a lot of people interested. And then you do a class on it, and then people get excited in your organization, and then you make it part of their goals. Okay, yes, I did that. I've done that. I've made it part of my team's goals to be active on social media. No one fought me on it. It's really, I feel like a lot of it is around education, and people, it's not that they don't technically know how to do it, like the techniques, techniques, that's not a word. The mechanics of it. People understand. They're tech savvy, they can do it. There are population that don't, but most of them understand the mechanics. They just don't know how to do it in a way that feels comfortable to them. So you figure out through letting them like look and like when they get to their comfort zone and what they like. I had one team member who didn't really like the selfie thing like that. They were like, oh, I feel cringe. But they loved promoting local businesses. So she was like into like networking and going to like community-based events and like ribbon cuttings and stuff like that. And I go, you could just start, you don't need to take selfies. In Instagram, like Facebook, Twitter, whatever is not about selfies. Social media is not just selfies. Like if you want to just like, I'll give you a tip. Take a picture of the ribbon cutting or take a picture of like the two people holding the certificate and share it and say, shout out to, I'm just trying to use not a real example, like West End Coffee Shop on their grand opening. We're excited to be here from the bank team or whatever. And like, so totally easy, right? You don't have to worry about compliance. It's like very like, because that's a lot of things people are worried about is like, am I going to say something wrong? If you're not talking about like products and services, there's really no compliance involved. If you're not swearing, you're good. So I would start there. And then I'd say, okay, now advanced. Everyone's taking the big ribbon cutting shot, the big check shot. Get like a more interesting or intimate photo of like someone pouring the coffee or your coffee, like your hand with your coffee cup, like just how to get a little more creative. And then they start to like get excited because that's like what's feeding them and they see the results from it. So just a small tip in a big way to say like, figure out what works for them. And they'll come along for the ride. I haven't really found anyone that wouldn't. Maybe it's just because they love me. We do have a couple like quick around the web news to talk about. So this is really the larger topic about conference etiquette and like takeaways and like how to get the most out of it. But we have a couple things to dish about. So we're going to like dish. Okay. First, so because a lot of this is like community banking, credit union focused, we're going to talk a little fintech. All right. You've probably seen this. It was in payments. It was in TechCrunch. Are you ready? There was an acquisition. OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, has acquired a fintech. Okay. It just acquired the Hiro platform. So Hiro was founded in 2024 and launched an AI tool probably about 5 months ago. It was like an AI powered financial planning specifically geared towards consumers. Users would enter salary information like debts, monthly costs, and the app modeled different what if scenarios to help them make financial decisions. The founder, you probably know him, Ethan Block, and co-creator of Hiro, was previously the founder and CEO over at Digit. Guys, remember Digit? I'm like geeking out. Digit like was a neobank platform, provided like personalized savings, investing, banking tools. That was acquired probably 2020, I think 2021. So Digit was acquired in 2021 by fintech Opportune. And so now they have sold off Hiro. So it sounds like a lot of the team is moving over to OpenAI. There was an announcement both by Ethan and on their website about how they're ending, I think as of the end of April or early May. They're not taking any new subscribers, what's going to happen to the information, all that. They're being very secretive about what the next chapter looks like. So let's keep an eye on this. OpenAI has purchased and acquired a fintech platform. Money, data. Now, one of the questions is my data all going to move over there? No. Data will be purged. You also have the opportunity to purge it ahead of time. I'm pretty sure my audience is not all Hiro users, but I just wanted to note that in there because you might be wondering like, oh, are they getting the data too? No, they're getting the ideas. So as we talk about how consumers get their financial literacy and their financial capability and their ideas and like brainstorming and like how to model their finances, we've talked about how some of them are just going to AI and saying like, help me create a budget. Okay. What if it's going to be more than that? Stay tuned. This is exciting. The next one. This is more of a like around the web of something that's come up for me that I've seen. We talked about Yumi Credit Union a little bit in previous episodes. I need them in my life. I think we said that they're in Colorado, not Colorado, California. Where's Yumi? We're going to click over here. Okay, Yumi, if I can't find out where you are in 2 clicks. Yeah, Burbank, California. Okay. They just launched something. I haven't done any research. I'm going to do some research and get back to you. But they just launched their own buy now, pay later. So we're going to bring this up. And how did I see it? I saw it on Instagram. Okay, let me see if I can do it quickly so you can hear it without. Here we go. Oh my gosh, it's not even on screen.
First, there's split your payments. If you've already made a debit card purchase, you can go into the Yumi app or online banking and turn that transaction into smaller monthly payments. Or if you're planning ahead, like a trip or a bigger purchase, you can plan your purchase and set up your payments before you even swipe. No extra apps, no surprises, just more flexibility built right into your Yumi experience. Check your offers tab in the Yumi mobile app or online banking to see what's available for you. Hi, Anita from Yumi here. Have you heard of Buy Now, Pay Later?
I love this. And so it's funny. I love how she says like no other apps needed. Hold on, I'm pulling up their website. Some of you in this chat, like I remember like us talking about the concept of app fatigue and how like there's literally an app for everything, but now you have apps for everything. And one of the examples is when most people used to use Credit Karma, right? I'm sure a lot of people still do, right? Intuit and TurboTax push it like there's no tomorrow. But with tools like Savvy Money, it's all within your bank's app. I no longer use Credit Karma because it's right within every bank's app that I own. And so anytime you can consolidate a really good experience into your banking app, is a huge win. And it has to be really good because like, for example, I remember like having integrations for person-to-person payments within my bank's app or credit union's app, right? And you're like, this is great. And you can get certain people to use it. But then some people are like, can you just Venmo me? Okay, so if your experience isn't like amazing, like Venmo, and it confuses people and they have to do an email and register and sign, like, okay, just Venmo me, right? So the same thing. I'm interested. The Klarna, the Affirm are so easy to use. But why would I use them if I could do it so easily right within my bank or credit union's app? I'm going to pull up their website because I wanted to look at this. We're going to pull it up on the screen and actually add it to the stage this time because I always forget that. Okay, buy now, pay later. So the Yumi way. We're just going to look at this together. Gives eligible members with a checking account flexible ways to spread out payments without the stress. Plan your purchase up front, split your payments if it's already been made, get started. Offer appears automatically, no credit check, nothing to apply for. If you're eligible, your buy now, pay later offers are already personalized for you. So this reminds me of, oh my gosh, am I out of the game? What's the phrase? Like overdraft protection, the matrix, the E, whatever it's called, right? If, courtesy pay, like, what do we call it? There's a word. Yeah, not EFT. Doesn't matter, but you guys know what I'm talking about, that like you would be opted in to the like overdraft protection if you met like a matrix criteria, and if you didn't, you were opted out of it or like moved out of it, or you had different levels, like you get the covered for 100, a 300, 500, whatever. Okay, so it's reminding me of that there must be some sort of decision matrix around it. So if you're eligible, you automatically move into the buy now, pay later universe where you can use it. No new cards or account numbers. I love that because like one of the things that annoys me about, I tested out Klarna like just for the bit, and it's kind of annoying because it like it opened up like this other card, and I don't think it's like reporting on my credit report. Maybe it is. I don't think it is. No, it's not. It's not. But it like opened up this other card number that's now in my mobile wallet that then just auto debits my checking account or my American Express when the payments due. So it's like, it just feels weird. It feels like I'm kiting or something. That I'm just like paying with this to then pay that, to then pay that. Like, I don't know. It's weird. But I love the fact that this is like included and it's your account, your card number. No extra hassle. Everything in one place. So like we talked about, no extra app fatigue. Okay. You can find the offers right within your app. There's no application for this. I love this. I wonder how they're doing this. Does anyone know what kind of like fintech is peddling this offer? We're going to look into it. We're going to find out, because all of this will be, there's got to be a press release somewhere, probably 8 months to a year ago of when they were going to sign up for it. But I just thought this was so cool. I mean, I love the way Anita, who's I think their CMO, presents it. She's just so articulate and exciting and engaging and talks about it. Just super, really cool. I think we're going to see more of this. This is a really great offering if it works the way it's supposed to, and if it works as seamless as like Klarna and Affirm. So that is an around the web tip. Sound good, friends? I think that's good for now. I had a couple more. We're going to save them for next week. They're not that important. This was the important stuff. I do want to do another shout out to our sponsor of the Carrie show. I don't have my swag with me. I'd like to thank Regional Home Care for sponsoring the Carrie show. Again, if you are like, okay, imagine you're going through TSA and you're like so tired and it's really, you're coming back from your conference and like you had to bring your CPAP and you didn't pack it in your bag, you packed it in your carry-on and it broke and you're so angry, you can order another one. Go to Regional Home Care, regionalhc.com. Okay, they have like CPAPs, sleep supplies, diabetic testing supplies, whatever it is. We want to shout out to our friends at Regional Home Care. And remember, we're going to put this up here, banners. If you would like to sponsor the Carrie show, you can reach out to me. We have very many levels available. So you can email me at collab@banksmartstudio.com, or and myself or one of my assistants will get back to you, which will probably be me using another name, just to be honest. Okay, I'm like a one-person shop right now. One of us will get back to you and we'll chat. This is so fun. Thank you guys so much for joining me. This has been a great time. And remember, do your homework, take away some of your conference tips. You'll be really happy you did. All right. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter X, Instagram, a little bit of TikTok. Stay social, my friends, because we are just getting started.
Wait, where did she go? Why is this still on? Bye-bye. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Bye!